Welcome to a new series of videos on good water warehouse filtration products. This series will focus on the components required to complete the various water filtering and conditioning equipment that we distribute all around the world. This new series will not focus on how to use or how to troubleshoot these systems, as we already do have videos existing and more upcoming on those topics. Rather, think of these series of videos as being a parts list, if you will. As you can see, we have lots of room to work within. I hope you find these helpful. Hey everyone, Jimmy Smith of Good Water Warehouse here. Better water means good water products. Let's talk water. There are many different types of water softeners on the marketplace, but they all have common components in order to operate. Let's check them out. The control valve. These valves come in many different shapes, colors, and designs. They certainly can look different from each other, but they are all intended to achieve the same results. The controller, or often referred to as the control board, is the brains behind a softener. All system settings and information is created and stored here. You know, choosing a valve is much like a person's like or dislike of a vehicle. You know, you're either a Ford person or a Chevy person or a Dodge person. Either way, the end result is all the same. The mineral tank, or often called the resin tank, is the body of a water softener. It is usually fiberglass and ranges in sizes from 6 inches to 63 inches in diameter. Heights can vary from 1 to 8 feet tall. Tank openings called tank mounting base or tank thread size are usually 2.5 inches on tanks 14 inches or smaller in diameter, and usually the 16-inch diameter tanks and larger have a 4-inch opening or a flanged mounted opening. A flange mounted opening is very useful for the large heavy brass valves. You now see a riser with a bottom distributor. It is placed inside the tank and connects to the control valve. Note, the water softener control valve you're about to see has an upper distributor, which is often called a basket or baffle. The valve slips over the riser pipe and threads into the tank. There has to be an O-ring on the valve that must be in place before securing the valve to the tank. The presenter went to school for many years to learn how to slip a valve over a riser. Inside these water softening tanks is the water softening resin, the heart of a water softener. Typically, 80% of the tank is filled with this resin. The remaining area is called freeboard. To keep the resin healthy and working efficiently, we need to feed it, and we feed it with a healthy brine solution. Brine is made and stored in the brine tank. You can see this brine tank in front of you now, and as I rotate it around, you'll see holes, one designed for the brine tube, which you'll see later, and one designed for an overflow. The lid gets removed, and inside there would be water softening salt. You can see me handling what we call the brine valve assembly. Now, the brine valve assembly has multiple usages. Primarily, it is a way for the brine solution to enter the control valve, but other features such as an air check and a float to prevent an overflow during the brine tank filling process are also of importance. Sometimes customers will also use a salt grid inside the bottom of the brine tank. However, this is not a necessity, only a preference. Connecting the valve assembly to the control valve is done via a brine tube, and you will see it in a moment, and there you are. Most water softening control valves have an interesting component called a meter. Arguably, I estimate 80 or 90% of softener control valves are metered. Here is a great cutaway view of a meter in what would be the outlet port of a control valve. Now, water will pass through that port and create a revolution of the meter, and this revolution passes on valuable water usage information to the controller. Additional components are required to correspond with the size of a resin tank. These parts are typically installed during the assembly of the water softener. The injector. Here you see examples of different types for all the various control valves that we sell. They are specific to the brand of the water softener in question, and different sizes are used for different size of resin tank. The drain line flow control, or known as DLFCs, come in different sizes, shapes, and they correspond to a flow rate. The drain line flow out of a water softener is paramount in keeping that water softener operating effectively for many years. The fill flow control, which regulates the flow of water into the brine tank, is also specific to the brand. Here are components that are usually ordered separately but required in order to complete the water softener. Bypass valves. You can see many bypass valves here specific for the brand that they're intended to be used on. They simply are a valve that the homeowner or the maintenance man can turn to turn water on or off on the inlet or the outlet. This particular one here actually has arrows for knobs to show the direction of the flow. Now, pipe adapters, sometimes called tails, are also brand specific and completely required in order to connect the water softener to the house plumbing. They must also have gaskets or O-rings included. As you can see, some are quite unique with O-rings and snap rings. They must be shipped with all of this complete. Also, you can see drain line fittings, which are utilized to connect the drain material to the drainage point from the water softener. Typical drain material used is simple flexible drain line or something more durable like a PEX pipe. Additionally, here is the overflow fitting that would be used on the brine tank. There you have it, all the parts needed to complete a typical residential water softener. Not that much really, but important all the same. Take pride in assembling and packaging them and have fun doing it. Thanks for watching and see ya!